Coming up on episode 117 of Creative Writing, I'm talking about creative collaborations.
I can't go back to sleep, it's almost light. These restless thoughts have kept me up again tonight.
Hello, and welcome to episode 117 of Creative Writing. I'm your host, Kirsten Oliphant, and this is the podcast for writers, bloggers, and creatives who want to build an online platform without being smarmy. And if you can hear the smile in my voice, it's because today's book launch day. It's actually just after midnight as I'm recording this, and I'm in Houston and the Astros just won, which means that I'm really late recording this, and it's okay though, because I'm really excited. The book just hit my Kindle and I've been getting messages from my international readers that they already have it, and I'm super excited to see it out of pre-launch and into launch with the price right now at 99 cents still as a launch special. So please go get your digital copy of Creative Collaborations, my new book. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about the book today and doing a reading from it so you guys can kind of get a sense of what it's about and why I think this book is so important, why I wanted to write it, and why I hope you go get it today. So excited. Okay, so let's talk all about the book. I've been talking about collaborations all month long to share with you guys some of the important points and why I'm so passionate about this. And I feel like it's just really important to say that I don't think many people, if any people, get where they get alone. And you know this if you've been in the digital space for a while, that it really is when you start connecting with other people, whether those people are, right on the journey with you and exactly where you are trying to get somewhere else, or if it's people who are ahead of you, who are kind of imparting wisdom or helping you along, or if you're sharing what you've learned with people who are trying to do what you have already done. And it's just hugely important, hugely rewarding for you, to help other people, for you to be helped by people. And we're just kind of all in this together. So I think it's really important to work with other people. And just so you guys know, if I haven't made this clear for a while, I'm an introvert. So like networking and working with other people is also extremely exhausting to me, even in the digital space, but it's hugely important. And so it's something that I do and make a priority in my business and in what I'm trying to build over here at Creative Writing. So here are a few quick things about the book, and then I'm going to do a brief reading, and that's going to be it for today because this is a special Thursday episode. The quick fix is also going out today. So if you're not signed up for my weekly emails, or if you're listening to this in the future, you obviously can't get today's email that went out on November 2nd in the morning. I sent it early. I usually am on Fridays, but the quick fix is a weekly email with resources, links, and news. Like today, we're talking about Twitter and some big news about what they're doing with auto DMs. It's kind of important. So you want to subscribe and not miss all of the things I dig up to find for you guys. So that is creativewriting.com/subscribe. The cool thing about this is I am doing the book launch. I'm speaking at the Super Connector Summit today, November 2nd. My session will be live for just 48 hours. And so you can actually sign up for that if you go over to the Facebook community where I have a link up there. It's creativewriting.com/community, and you'll find a link there. And I'm talking to David Burkus, who is a TEDx speaker and an author and just pretty huge guy, and I'm speaking with him about collaboration. So very perfect timing. I'm also going to be going live at 7:45, close to 8-ish on my Facebook page and in the group, and that's Central Time. I'm going to be actually having my book launch party, which is sponsored by Mediavine, ConvertKit, Kroger, and the local Houston craft distillery, Grateful Dane Distillery. So you guys can watch a little bit of that if it's, you can go back and find the video if this is later, or you can watch live if you're listening in the morning. But what I'm going to do there is a reading, and I was actually just going to use that as the podcast episode, but I think the sound, I don't know, there's too many things I'm stressed out about with this party that I'm running to worry about the sound and if I can get good enough quality for the podcast and what I want to present. So I'm just going to read. I've printed it out here, and it took like 18 tries because of page numbering and everything else for the book and the format that I have it. So I finally printed out the introduction And I'm going to go ahead and read that for you guys. But if you want to purchase your copy of the book, Creative Collaborations, you can go to createifwriting.com/CC, and that will take you right to the Amazon page. And if you're listening during the next, launch week, it's going to be 99 cents. If you're listening in the future, it's still a very affordable price. And it's really something I think will help you learn to make connections, both, with sponsors and getting paid kind of opportunities, working with other people who are influencers, or doing interviews, networking, working with other people who are kind of on the same journey you are, masterminds, all kinds of really specific collaborations, and then also general tips and pitches, templates, and that kind of thing. So it's really going to be very practical, and I hope help you actually make some of these connections. So I'm going to read the introduction, and you might hear the paper shuffling, keeping it real. Paper, here we go. So this is going to be the introduction to Creative Collaborations, and it's called What Roller Derby Taught Me About Collaboration. I learned the secret to successful collaborations while playing roller derby. I did not realize that I was learning this at the time. I was too busy trying to juke my way through the pack as a jammer or knock the other team's skaters to the ground. But on the track, you aren't playing solo, even as a jammer trying to break through walls or a blocker trying to keep your point. Roller derby is a team sport. It is the most intense and intensive hobby that you could sign up for, taking up as many hours per week as a part-time job. You wear the same color as your team, you practice the same hours, you carpool to practice, you give up family time, Netflix time, so much time. You have team dinners and strategy sessions and play pranks on other teams. You have secret Facebook groups to talk smack. Your periods sync up. Yes, that is a thing. And on the track, you see the evidence of all these off-track moments. You aren't 4 blockers. You are a wall. Your jersey is soaked with sweat, but it's not just yours. You are that close with the other skaters. You'll find fingerprint bruises on your arm the next day from your teammates, holding you close, pushing you in for a block, using you for a whip to cut through the pack. You touch a lot of people's butts in roller derby, and this is not weird. A pat on the butt after a jam is a great encouragement. You might rest your hand there on a wall, ready to push yourself or another blocker into the right position. This is a metaphor, of course, so let me bring it back around to collaboration. Touching other people's butts becomes commonplace in roller derby, pushing and pulling teammates into place, patting someone to say good game or better luck next jam. You might pat your teammate on the butt at the bar when you are not in uniform, just because you don't even think about it anymore. It is simply how you say hello. You might pat your husband on the butt in church when you stand for a hymn, and realize half a second later that you just become a little too accustomed to butt touching. The taboo is lifted. The hesitation is gone. The sense of personal space and the wall that exists between people evaporates. Being a part of a team takes away the strict sense of what is yours alone. You are together. You are one. And great teams embody the sense of oneness and unity. All of which is to say that the secret to successful collaborations is trust. This is what I learned from so many years on the track as a player and on the bench as a coach. Your team is only ever as good as the trust you have for one another. Rogue players, even great players, playing singularly hurt the team as a whole. They don't just break apart strong defensive walls, they break trust. For the past 5 years, I have learned something of trust in the online space, with writers and bloggers and podcasters, men and women of different ages and different political views and in different niches. I've been burned and had my work stolen. I've had people promise things and then lie when that promise is no longer convenient. I've seen my own jealousy creep up and wreck things, mostly wreck myself. I've seen partnerships fizzle and fail, and I've felt the distinct loss of friendships. But I've seen beautiful things too. I've been pushed farther and pushed faster through strategic partnerships and friendships. I've been inspired by the community, especially here in Houston, through Houston bloggers and Houston social media breakfast. I've been the recipient of encouragement, praise I didn't deserve, and propelled forward into spaces I could not have reached on my own. The thing about trust is that it's risky. And if you've been burned by a partnership that turned sour, you may even be more hesitant to take the risk. Maybe you've never seen the amazing benefits that can come from great collaborations. I hope this book will give you a few things: encouragement to actually do the the sometimes hard and risky work of collaboration, inspiration for the kinds of partnerships you might have, and the tools to get started. As a wise man once said, stop, collaborate, and listen. Here's to your future partnerships and successful collaborations. So that is the introduction to creative collaborations with a little nod to my roller derby career in there, where I really did learn so much about working together. And I just see the applications in the digital space and love the partnerships, the teamwork, and everything else, even despite the hard and not so great things that also happened along the way. With that, I'm going to leave you guys, and I really hope that you will see the need for this book, because we need to all stop working solo and work together and find creative ways to do that fit for you and are beneficial to all the parties involved. Learn how to do this, practical steps, and hear stories from my own life by getting your book. It's createifwriting.com/CC. And if you are buying the book and want to tag me, you can tag me at Kiki Mojo on Twitter, which is my roller derby name. And you can use the hashtag collabbook, which has 2 L's and 2 B's, COLLABBOOK. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'm really excited to have this book out there. I hope that it is super helpful for you as you are moving in on your journey and trying to find successful partnerships in this digital age.